Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh man, that's pretty clean too. What year is that? That's older than me. Wow, that's nice. Cruising the coast, here we come. Why not? Two
It,
person?
it I don't know. It's got not the interior was redone in it. Not a spot, not a blemish.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
I
sweet.
used to
That's sweet ride.
Yeah. 64 and a half, 289 V8. That's what they
Wow.
was putting in the Mustangs,
Yeah.
289.
Yeah, that's
But
nice, man.
I appreciate it. Man, look, they got a book right now. I can't if I can find the book. It took 2 years to build this car. And they have to go get everything original. Can't nothing be not original, right? So
Yeah.
they got for instance, they got the seatbelt in Georgia, but they got the seatbelt buckle in Oklahoma. So they had to go all over the country to to get original parts.
Yeah. Man, that's a cool ride. What you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Just cruise around in it or something? Or I mean, you ain't gonna drive to
I,
Walmart in that car.
no, I don't know what they're going to do with it. They need to clean it. We also have a 2018 Mustang Shelby GT 50th anniversary edition,
Oh, nice.
and it's at the where. Yeah, it's right down the road. They don't never drive it. It's cool when you shut the doors in that car. The windows seal all by themselves, and when you open the
Yeah.
door, the window comes down all by itself. It'll shut the door, whoop, and then when you open the door, it'll go whoop, like that.
Yeah. I
It's
don't I don't
crazy.
really like smart cars like that. They get on my nerves a little bit. I mean, some of that stuff's really cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know. When it's studying me and trying to figure out everything it needs to know about me so it can do whatever it needs to do, that kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, man, what they're doing with cars and vehicles now is crazy. They got satellites on top of vehicles. When you put it in reverse, you can see the top of your car. It's it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I
I don't
like
know.
the cameras though. I like the backup cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah, me
My,
too.
my caddy's got a backup camera, which is kind of cool.
Oh,
But
what year is it?
I gotta get it's 2012, but I gotta get it fixed. I need to get brakes done on it.
Yeah.
I need to find me a jack
Anything
leg to come to the house and fix it.
anything you do on a luxury car is going to cost money.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's got all that stuff in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well,
it's I don't particularly the Jeep engineers do that stuff too. They like, well, everything's perfect, so let's just do something different, you know just to do
throw
something
people
different.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, they move the controls for the windows around and stuff, and it's like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
They
Why
were
do they do
fine.
that?
They were
I
fine
don't
the way they
understand
were.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say, what's up, Diesel Bomber? What's up, David? Jewel? I had a Corrado. What is a Corrado? He probably meant to say Camaro.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because
I,
Camaros do that, the newer ones.
I had a Camaro, but all my stuff's old school stuff. I
Right.
had a Camaro for a while. It's kind of cool. My favorite car though, just to screw around in, was a Fiero. Remember the Fieros?
Uh-uh.
They're like a poor man's Maserati, I guess, or something. It was like,
Really?
yeah, they were wide bodied. The engine in them was way bigger than the car, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you had a V6 and a Fiero, you had something. But anyway, they were just fun cars to screw around in.
He said it's
You
an
know?
old VW from the 90s. What's up, Creeker Michael? Yeah, man. If I get me talking about cars, man, I'll be talking all day about cars, man. But anyway, so you just had a song come out called Silhouette.
Well, it ain't out yet. It actually comes out on the 7th.
Oh, it's
Um,
not out yet.
no, it's not out yet.
Oh,
I put
okay.
teasers out for it. It's a cool song. It's about facing death, but not
Yeah.
facing death like a little bitch, I guess. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it, but it's like standing up and facing it, you know.
Right, right.
And
Yeah.
I when I got the verses for it, I'm doing the singing part on it, and I needed the rap to be. See, I could. There's a bunch of people that would have done well on it as far as sounding, but I
Yeah.
needed somebody that went through an experience like that so they could relate to it and write
Right.
to that. And
Right.
I found a guy in Oklahoma named Lyrical, and
Yeah.
he's really dope, man. He's does a lot of radio and stuff like that. He's a DJ, and he's got his own show on Swamp Radio, and he's a cool dude. And I asked him if he'd try it, and he said he would. And man, he within 24 hours he got it back to me, and that kind of made me nervous at first. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. That's
he
pretty
didn't think
fast.
about it,
Yeah.
and but he did. He really nailed it because he felt it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And
It's an
and
easy
so
song to feel.
yeah, and it builds pretty good. And I used a long time ago. I was in a punk rock band in high school where I actually sang. You know what I mean?
Right. Me
Now,
too. I was in a
now,
band.
now those vocal cords are way back in there somewhere. They was resting. They were minding their own business until I tried to do that song. So when I came out with that second verse and I hit that note, they woke up, and I nailed that first part of it the first time.
Really?
I was shocked. I was like, wow. And the second part where I brought it back down, I actually had to do that like 3 or 4 times. But
Yeah.
that first part where I came out with it, I nailed it. And so, it was kind of cool. And it builds pretty good, and the emotion of the song is right on. And I really like the song. I hope other people like it too. Um, the message in it is good. You know,
Yeah.
it's needed. I think for some people, it's not for
Right.
everybody, I guess,
It
but
helped me. I got to
it
listen to it.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate you listening to it too. But
um,
I think it's playing on Swamp Radio already. Um, I don't know if it's in rotation or not, but I know it's on some of the shows.
yeah.
Um, I don't remember. Hickerbilly, I guess is his name. They reviewed it. Hickerbilly
Oh,
gave it a
really?
9. Yeah, he gave it a 9.5.
Oh, I
Uh,
remember they did. Yeah, that's right. Shout
and
out Hickerbilly.
the other dude gave it like an 8, and he's like a hateful 8. I'm like, well, I,
That's
I,
eight's pretty good.
I'm for them. It is. I think it's cool, man. So
Yeah.
and the chat seemed to like it. So I'm like, cool. And so
Yeah.
I know Lyrical's excited about it. We're doing a show August 2nd in Jasper, Florida, at like the Graveyard Mud Bog or something.
Oh, that's awesome. You got a show
Yeah,
coming up?
yeah, and it's a bunch of acts. The Sticks are playing. There's a
Okay.
bunch of folks playing.
Okay.
386 Music is playing, and we did a song with them here just I think last week or two. It came out. Um, Save My Soul is the name of that one.
Okay.
And and Lyrical's going to be on that show too. So the Swamp Music Mafia is doing a set. We're doing like 30 minutes, and there's so many of us, so we're just going to kind of mix it up a little bit, keep
Yeah.
it hype. And
Yeah.
so, but Lyrical wanted to do that song, so maybe we'll do that song. Then I'll do a song with 386. So I'll be doing songs with 2 or 3 other acts
Hey,
on there.
that's
You know?
that's good. Hey, I want to say, Creeker Michael. I'm gonna go over all that probably at the end of the chat. I'm gonna explain everything. And do you have a sample, Jeff, that we can listen to? Do you have that sample we could listen to?
Yeah. I put a teaser out. I think there's one on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, tease it.
I know there's one on IG and Facebook,
It's good,
um,
man. Yeah.
but I, I don't know if
Diesel said it's going to be a banger for sure.
Oh, you has Diesel heard it?
He might have.
Hey, you never know. I mean, because Lyrical got friends too, and we have these small circles we share them in.
Yeah,
You know, to
man.
say, hey man, what do you think about this?
That's
It's
how
like,
you
man,
build it up.
that sucks, or man, that's awesome, or whatever.
Right.
And so,
Yeah.
and that's kind of cool. But yeah, let me see if I could find it. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not.
I put
Maybe,
my song out for Marcotic to review. Marcotic and TJ Holmes. Yeah. And Supreme Lyric. They
yeah,
reviewed my song. I got a song called Please Take Me Back.
okay,
And
yeah,
and they reviewed it and they gave it an 8.9. Everybody in the chat gave it a 10 though. But
nice,
TJ Holmes was like, man, you need to go back in there and remove. I got a girl talking on a voicemail. He said,
yeah,
you need to remove that and then let the first one just ride. So I did. I took their advice. I went and I removed it and it actually helped the song. It really did. So,
yeah,
I'm open for constructive criticism. I
yeah.
thought that,
I
uh,
am too. I like that actually. When people are being, douches, I don't like that. But
right.
because some people just hate to be hating, I guess.
Yeah.
But you get sort of ear blind after you hear a song so many times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
whenever I'm mixing, I have to mix it over a period of days because that initial mix, I'll be focusing in on maybe the bass or something, and then and the bass may be great, but you're overlooking something, and then I get away from it, let my ears rest, and I go
Right.
back to it, and then you always hear something.
Right. Well,
And
that's how, look, when these guys say, like, for instance, Hosier and Best Believe, they made an album in one weekend.
yeah,
And the guy mixing their album was me and Haystack's old DJ T Swan. He was the
yeah,
DJ for 94.5.
yeah,
And they made an album in a weekend and they were bragging about it. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't think I don't think that's something to brag about because it takes a while to make good music. Unless
yeah.
it just writes itself. A good song will write itself.
Well, there's also many hands make light work. So if they have a guy in there, the guy you named, I mean, he's obviously very good at what he does. So he'll get the things that he knows needs to get right.
Right.
And even though he may be missing this or that because he's already tuned in, if somebody else comes along, or even if he comes back to it a couple few hours later, his ears might have refreshed by then.
Right.
So
You hear
I guess
different things.
technically you could do it, but a whole album is a lot of songs, man. That's a whole lot of
Yeah,
songs.
it is.
So you probably need help on it. So if you got a
Yeah.
couple people with good ears, you can probably do it.
Well, it's like when it comes to writing lyrics, when I write a song, and if I was like putting out music all the time and doing it just for money, and I had to hurry up and write a song to meet some quota, I could come up with some stupid rap song with like
Yeah,
Dr. Seuss rhymes in it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But when I'm talking really write a song like this song that's coming out February 28th, Welcome to My Addiction. I took that very
yeah,
seriously. I sat
yeah,
down to write Welcome to My Addiction and I wrote the first verse. I listened to the beat, and then all of a sudden, something special happened. And then the next time I put my pencil to the paper, my pencil never left the paper. That song wrote itself, and it
yeah.
was from the heart. That don't happen every time.
No, no, it don't. I love it
That
when
don't
it
happen.
does, though.
Oh yeah,
When
you
it
got a
does,
banger when that happens.
when it does, listen, I'll be in the middle of something. When I write like I like to write a lot of happy, fun songs.
Yeah,
There's no pressure on those. You're just having a good time. You throw a few zingers in, make sure it's funky, and everything's cool. But when you're writing a real song, one of them songs that's emotional, that
right,
you get in a place for,
right.
and they happen like that. Oh, those are special.
Yeah, it's very special.
Yeah, and you have to trust the spirit of it too. You got to go with it, you know.
Right,
And
right.
it's like
Yeah,
when I got to that part where I was like, I got to hit a hard note on this, and I'm like, man, I ain't done that in a long time. So I almost didn't do it, and then I
really.
popped that mic up and I, bam, and I'm like, okay, all right, it's still in
You
there.
nailed it.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do it live, but we'll see.
What's up, Jimmy? You got a teaser you can play us?
Yeah, it's on my my YouTube channel.
Okay.
There's in the shorts. So I mean,
Okay.
I can't. I don't know how to do. I'm afraid to mess with my phone. If I try to do it, my phone will die or something.
Okay. Uh, so you it won't play in the background?
Oh, you mean? Well, I don't think the sound would be good.
Okay.
And then I have to move my phone so you can see it. No,
Okay.
no, I ain't gonna do that. But
Uh,
if you could do it, that'd be great. It's on my YouTube page, like I said. Old
uh,
Ski 420, I think.
yeah.
420 is
Uh,
reference to the time of day. Just saying.
I don't got a computer out here.
Yeah. Well, for those in the chat, here, let me see if I can. I could drop a
What
link in the chat. I think I
you
can do that.
can?
I think I can.
Okay, do that. What's your YouTube? What's the name of your YouTube?
Old Ski.
Old Ski. Guys, I'm telling y'all, this is a really good song. If you go to Old Ski and go to YouTube and look for Silhouette, that's the name. That's the name of the song, correct?
Yeah. Now it's just a teaser on there. It's not the whole song.
Okay.
Here, I'll try to paste. This is a direct link to it. I don't know that they'll have to copy and paste it though.
Okay.
You don't have moderators in your channel.
Well, she's not in here for some reason. She's not in. Misty, you know Misty.
Yeah, Miss T from across the sea. Yeah, I know her.
She's over here right now. She's in America right now.
What? What's she doing
Yeah.
over here?
I don't know.
I mean,
She
welcome.
told me, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. I think she's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
my girl. I love me some Misty. Oh,
She said she wants
what's
to
up,
do like a
Andy?
country rap show over there. She said, but so many country rap artists got felonies they can't get passports.
Right. I couldn't get a passport.
That's
Right.
hilarious.
Well,
It's
I
true
actually
though.
looked that up though. That's right. You used to be in politics,
Yeah,
and so did you ever run for office? Was you elected?
yeah. I was elected twice actually. Um,
Okay.
I really don't want to talk about it, but
Okay.
we can. I
Well,
mean, I ain't ashamed of it. I did. You know, I just want to do my part as a citizen. You know, try to make things better.
yeah. Well,
And
let me ask you. I googled the other day. Could a person with a felony get a passport?
yeah,
And Google said yes, it is possible.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also, you know, get your suffrage back too. You know, and you just got to solicit for it. And different states have different rules about it, but it's
Oh
about
man, they'll never give me my freedom. That I don't. Not to get too deep, but
yeah,
they don't give people like me their right. But you know what? The Second Amendment is my gun permit. That and if
yeah.
it is
Well,
what it is.
the state finally caught up with us on that one, and so Mississippi generally agrees with you on that. And so, I
Yeah.
mean, here, like people don't know. Like if you're in like up north, like Illinois or someplace, and somebody comes on your property talking yang and then threatening you physically and all kinds of stuff, if you shoot them in the yard, you're still going to be in trouble.
Same with Mississippi.
Well, no, not anymore. We have
Oh, we
castle
don't.
doctrine and we have stand your ground. If somebody comes onto your property threatening you, that threat is life and death, you can
Right.
defend yourself anywhere in the street, in your yard, anywhere, pretty much.
Because I know Mississippi had the castle doctrine, but I didn't
Yeah,
know they adopted stand your ground.
yeah, we have a variations of it, um, but yeah, it's probably one of the freest state for firearms in the country.
I don't know, Texas. You heard about Texas? They're
Yeah,
letting felons carry guns in Texas.
well, there ain't nothing in the Constitution says you can't.
Right. That's where I'm at. It's like I know what they're saying. They're trying to
Yeah,
keep the guns out of, wild street drug thugs. I get it.
yeah,
But the Second Amendment clearly says shall not be infringed.
that's right.
To me, that sounds like don't
Well,
fuck with it.
what a lot of people don't understand is we didn't have police back then. The local militia was the police.
Right.
You know, this whole thin blue line, and I respect those people who serve in those jobs, they're rough jobs. I get it. And thank them for doing it. Somebody needs to do it, and I'm glad they do it. But the real first line of defense ain't the police.
It ain't.
It's your ass.
It's my ass. That's
Yeah.
right.
Jimmy said something in the comments. You know what's funny, Jimmy? The funny thing about government, they'll take something that's natural and free and make it illegal, and then they'll charge you to do it. In other words, like hunting and fishing. It's pretty hilarious.
It is.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't get it,
yeah,
but I heard somebody tell me one time. They said the Second Amendment is my gun right, and I was
yes, it
like,
is.
hell yeah, that makes sense. I remember when I was getting sentenced, the
Yeah,
judge told me, he said, "You're going to be a felon, and they got to explain to you what that means. You can't vote."
yeah,
And when he says you can no longer own any firearms, I laugh.
yeah. Well, the thing about rights like that, and the Bill of Rights especially, if you read the Federalist Papers that describe what they meant and all that stuff, they pretty much go in pretty straight detail with it. Um, you know, these are God given rights. And if you don't believe in God, fine, they're natural rights, whatever you
Right.
want to call it.
You have the
Um,
natural right to defend yourself.
that's right. And in nature, we have, I mean, if something harms you or threatens you or your family, you defend yourself. That's a natural
Right.
thing.
Right.
And I don't understand. I do get the idea of, rules on guns and all that kind of stuff. You don't want sick people to get them. You don't want, I get that. I understand it. Whether
Right.
I agree with it or not is not the point. I understand the argument, you
Right.
know. But where they lose me is when they get into this whole thing where you don't have the right to defend yourself, and that don't make any sense to me.
Like England, like people in
Yeah,
England. That's crazy.
yeah. And I'm always going to be an outlaw when it comes to that
Me too.
because
Look what's on the TV.
I'm telling you, what platforms and that's the champs, bro.
oh, whose channel is that?
I saw that one in bomb gang.
Hicker Billy Short and Chop Easy.
Yeah,
They had Cody Lane on there.
yeah.
I talked
He
to Cody.
came out of nowhere. His channel blew up pretty quick.
Yeah, I talked to Cody last night. I'll say this the whole time okay, so I'll tell y'all the whole story. There's 14 people in here. Let me walk outside for this, okay? So I'll give y'all something exclusive, okay? So we went to a show in Waukesha, Indiana. I don't know. You ever heard of that place?
No,
So Justin was doing a Redneck Ray bar takeover in Waukesha, Indiana, and so me and Adam come off the stage, and I asked Adam. I said, "Bro, can we go in the back and take a picture?" He was like, "Sure, let's go." So me and Adam walks in the back, and instead of me hitting the picture, I accidentally hit video. And
yeah,
that's how we got the video of me and Adam. Well, in the back of the video, and if you follow me, you've seen the video.
I
In the
have.
back of the video, if you look at that video, behind me and Adam, there's a dude that walks behind us when we're talking, and he goes like that behind me and Adam, like
Who,
photo bombing
who was that?
video, That's Cody. That was Cody who
Okay,
did that. So Cody finally gets in touch with me and he's like, "Hey, that was me that photo bombed your video." And I ain't gonna lie, okay, me and Cody kind of didn't get off on the right foot at first, but then everything kind of worked out. I'm gonna tell you right now, Cody is a real motherfucker.
yeah,
And so he told me, he was like, "This is the reason I was in Waukesha." He said, "Adam was going to give me a record deal. He called me up to Indiana and he said, I want to take you to this show." So they got in the vehicle and they drove to where we were. Me and Colt Montgomery was doing the Redneck Ray bar takeover in Indiana. And
yeah,
that's when Cody Lane got out the truck and photo bombed our video. So then me and Cody began talking. And during this process of Adam coming at Cody, telling him this, this, and this, and Cody writing songs, he would come to me and talk to me. When he wrote some of his music, he would send it to me because he knew, I would be dead ass honest with him if the song sucked or if it didn't suck.
yeah,
So he sent me some music that was good. That was at first I didn't think Cody could rap, but after listening to him, I realized he has his own style, and
yeah.
he can rap in his own little way. And so I thought the songs were good. Well, he sends them to Adam, and Adam rejects or says, "I want you to write when you get in Indiana," because he wants 100% rights to the music. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no.
And so
Mm-mm.
here's the kicker. Okay, here's the inside kicker. Okay, I fucking flipped out one night on the internet and cussed everybody out.
Which time? Which time?
The first time when it all started.
Okay. Okay.
And look, I fucking messaged Narcotic. I messaged Biggie Blue. I'm trying to tell him I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, you want to fight? We'll fight. Whatever. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, I said
Yeah.
what I said. I'm going to stand on business. It is what it is. But I really am sorry. I want all this shit. Anyway, so I was
It,
supposed to be on Cody Lane's album. I'm doing a show at Tower Tracks in Louisiana at the Mud Park. Cody Lane calls me. And he's like, bruh, I got to pull you off the album. You can't be on my album. And we done the song. It was called Mississippi Pimpin'. And I was like, what, bro? I was like, everybody's turning on me, and you're the only person I really got in my corner. And he was like, bro, it's nothing personal. It's just business. You got a bad name right now. I'm not putting you on my album. And then I was like, all right, well, you know what? I respect that in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I
yeah.
ain't got no ill will towards him. You know what I'm saying? He's a real one. You know, he is an absolute real one. And so I don't know. We might circle back one day, but that's what happened.
Well, things have a habit of doing that. You
Yeah.
know, the only constant in the universe is change, baby.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I hate it sometimes, but yeah. No,
I'm
I don't care. You could have a. I mean, you'd have to do a whole lot to really get off my album if you were on it. I mean, I roll with you, man. I don't care. I mean, you know,
yeah.
people are people. I know what the core is.
Yeah.
Sometimes out here it gets a little weird
Right.
for everybody, but in the core, that's where the people are. That's where the people I love are, man.
Right.
And that's what I like about you. You're real mother scooter, you know.
I'll die for it.
Yeah, I know
I,
you will.
I really believe. Never mind. You know what though? Honestly, today now I'm a father. Really, that's what I am. I'm a father.
Yeah,
You know, I'm raising three boys. If I didn't have my three boys, I honestly do not see the reason to keep living if it wasn't for my boys. And I don't
yeah,
want people to be all sad and feel bad. Like I really like after I buried my brother, I could have blown my brains out and that would have been it because he took
yeah,
he took a such a big piece of me with him when he died. Like my brother was my daddy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
so many times when I was growing up, he would preach to me and tell me and of many things. Loose lips sink ships. Keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. That's
And
right.
so, and if I'd have a problem with somebody or whatever, all my brother had to do was just show up and say, "You got to go through me before you fight him." And that was the end of that
Yeah,
was the end. When he died, I was like, "Wow, there's nobody. I'm it. I'm it. There's
yeah.
nobody." You know what I'm saying? And so I stepped up and had three boys. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for them, I would
Well,
be doing time. I would be doing count time right now.
well, you know, it's life. You know, sometimes you got to redefine yourself in life. Sometimes, you know,
You do.
and
Yeah.
I pray a lot. I may cuss like a sailor, but I pray on my knees.
All
You know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
And look, my wife passed away a couple few years ago, and I had to make some changes. I
Really?
mean, yeah, big ones, and I had to figure out who I was because 30 something years is a big deal, you know,
Yeah, it
and
is.
so um, with a lot of prayer and a lot of doing, you know, a lot of different things, and I figured it out. I went back to my first love, which was music. I'd been doing music the whole time anyway, just sort of privately, you know,
Right.
because you just don't ever. That's always in you if it's in you.
Right.
And my boys, uh, they were still chugging away, like DJ Trick, you know, Paw.
Yeah. Papa Fresh. Shout out
Yeah,
Papa Fresh.
and they were still doing their thing. And I talked to Paw a few years before, I'd had some surgeries in 2018, and him and a guy named Jeff Johnson, a good friend, came down to visit, and
Where's
I
he
was
from?
asking. Originally, I was raised in West Tennessee. Me and Paw
No,
was raised
Jeff
real close to each
Johnson.
other.
Where's Jeff Johnson from?
Tennessee. It's not.
Okay.
There's a couple of them.
Okay.
This he used to go by the name of Jay Swass.
Okay. Did you know Chris Skaggs?
Oh, The name sounds familiar, but I don't recall. I don't.
Okay, okay. He was a big bass player that played all over the coast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe that's how I know him, but I don't know him, but I may have heard of him.
yeah, yeah,
But anyway, so just talking to them, reminiscing about the music days and all the things we did, and record stuff and gigs and all the things. And plus what Trick had been doing since then. I'm like, man, I got to rekindle my relationship with this music.
yeah.
And so eventually that led to my reemergence, if you will, at least publicly. And the cool thing is, all my old friends that I was hooked up with now were somebody. They had connections, and so it was easy to plug in. I could go to Memphis, St. Louis, Atlanta, and record in the studio wherever I wanted to go. I knew somebody.
Oh wow.
If I wanted to go to Indianapolis, I hook up with my good friend Funky Thumbs, who is now K Funk, who's kind of a funk legend up there. And I just go to his studio and we'll just lay it down. He was on
Oh,
my
that's
very
awesome.
first record. Him and
Awesome.
and and DJ Trick. That was his DJ Trick's first record too.
I need you to holler at Vic for me. I try to holler at Vic. I don't know if he don't like me or what, but I know he likes me. But I need.
Yeah, he
He's
likes
busy.
you.
He's really busy though. I know
He is.
that.
It's hard to catch him. His hours are weird now too.
Yeah.
Plus, he's
Vic.
doing a lot of different stuff now. I guess he's trying to find a new place, and he's experimenting with some things.
Oh,
And,
okay.
I think him and Captain Kurt's got a review show now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
Wait.
see it, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
And he
I,
does the stream, and he does the country rap reports deal.
yeah.
And there's another one, Unc and Neff, which is a show that compares the new music versus the older music. And it's a weird show. I try to get some of the new music freaks me out a little bit
Well,
because
well.
all
Let me.
all the auto tune stuff and everything they do is like,
Oh, yeah.
come on, man. I
Yeah.
hear the artistry in it, I really do,
Yeah.
but it's really difficult for me to vibe with it. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about? Have you seen Justin Time's new roast of Ryan Upchurch?
I haven't. I saw the last thing from him I saw was the teddy bear thing, with the camera, and then he did something else. Justin Time
Uh,
is a nut, man. He is
he
a
is.
nut. He
He is a
he's a
nut.
nut.
That's another one, man. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know why he don't like me. I don't know. I text him
Yeah.
sometimes, he responds and whatever. But
Well, it's hard to say what goes through people's heads. I mean, I learned long ago that everybody puts their britches on the same way. I've known
yep,
the last three governors of Mississippi personally, Secretary of State. Me and Delbert Hoseman ate breakfast together several times. All these people that do all this stuff are congressmen, senators, all these folks. I've met them. I've hung out with them. I know
Haley
them.
Barber.
Yeah, me and Haley Barber. The bottom line is this: they put their britches on the same way everybody else does. They ain't special. They may
Right,
be smart. They may be skilled in some areas. They may have the gift of gab, whatever it is.
right,
They may know an industry or something, but at the end of the day, we're just people, all of us.
right,
No matter what kind of stars you got next to your name, or
right.
nobody is special in that regard. We are God's children, every single one of us. We're all
Yep,
equal in that regard. Now, what we do on this earth and how we treat each other is what matters the most, I think,
yeah,
um, as far as our walk here. But I don't get starstruck. I don't have heroes in that respect. There are people I respect highly,
yeah,
but I don't have heroes per se. I just don't,
yeah,
because we're all the same.
yeah.
That don't mean I don't admire some people and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
And,
that's why I brought you on the live tonight because I'm inspired by you. You
well, I
know,
appreciate that, brother. I do.
I am
We're
because
practically neighbors. I
yeah.
wish I'd have known you were here before. That would have been cool. You actually, it's probably a good idea. I've been knocking on your door, hawking for votes. Hey, man,
No,
hook a brother up with some votes.
yeah. All my monitors here. Misty's in the house. Italy's in the house. Shout out Italy.
Miss T from across the sea. What up, baby? Good to
Yeah.
see you, Misty.
Um.
I hear you're in America right now.
Yeah,
You need to come to South Mississippi and hug a brother's neck.
yeah, the cat's out the bag.
Sorry.
You know, when I first started country rap, I started in a good spot. Like my first show was with Haystack. Like I got put in
Yeah,
a good spot. But I mean, I knew who Haystack was. But the second show, I was surrounded by Justin Time, Kingery, Rich Regal, Adam
yeah,
Calhoun, and there was other artists there walking around. Timberwolf Tone. There was other artists walking around, and Colt was saying like, "Man, you know who that? You know who that is?" And I was like, and I didn't because I didn't like. I was married for 7 years, and that was my life. Like
right.
music was not even a thought. You know what I'm
You
saying?
spent more time at Lowe's and Home Depot than you did at the music store.
I knew who Ryan Upchurch was,
Yeah,
and I knew that this dude is a living legend because of what he's done with hip hop and country. And
yeah,
so I respected that. I knew who he was. But all these other artists, so all these artists at the show was walking around, and it's like Cole's like, you know who that is? And I don't know. I have no idea who that is. He's like, you don't know who that is? And no, I don't know who that is. And so I wasn't starstruck at first either. And I don't know, like, all right, so let me say it. Okay. Kingery.
yeah,
Okay. Usually when people meet Kingery, they're starstruck or whatever, you know. When I first met Kingery, I just thought he was a dude that lived in Indiana that came to the show. I
yeah,
thought this dude lived down the street from the club we were playing, and his name was Kingery. But come to find
yeah.
out, when I left the show, I went on TikTok, and he's like a big thing. And so we started talking, and he was like, you know, you need to get me on a feature, and I was down. And then all of a sudden, all of them just turned their back on me. You know what I'm saying? It's
Would you
DJ Cat.
fart? Did you fart in the tent or something? What's going on, man?
No, DJ Catfish and somebody else told me it's because they don't want to compete with you.
No, I've seen you live, and if it's a competition, I'll back you up. I mean, I don't mean I won't compete with you, but I
Yeah.
already know because I've seen how you do it, and
Oh, that's right. You went to a show in Bay
I
St.
have.
Louis.
I've seen you live, and I really when you see it in a video or you hear it like playing it, it's one thing. But when I see you do it, that freaked me out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. And
Yeah.
here's the cool thing. I don't know if I ever told you this. There were two guys that was in front of me at that show. One of them was like a low key radio. I mean, a record producer kind of guy. You know, from some no name. You know, there's a million of them out
Yeah.
there. But
Independent.
yeah, and he was kind of evaluating talent, and they gave you that another white boy look. You
Yeah.
know
That's what they
that
all thought.
yeah. And him and this other guy, and I don't know who the other guy was, but they were talking about all these acts. And when you got up there, at first, you know, it was like, oh, here we go.
Another white boy.
Opie fitting to get on the mic, you
Yeah.
know. And Opie got on the mic, and Opie rocked the mic.
They had no
And
idea.
after about, I don't know, you were like 4 or 5 or 4 or 8 bars in or so. And so, you know, they got perked up.
Changed their life. Yeah.
Well, not yet. Their life hadn't changed yet.
Okay.
Because you know you can do 4 or 8 bars and be cool, and then you get into some nah stuff.
Chill
But you
bumps.
kept going. You was into the 16, and by that time they were like,
Holy fuck.
"What the hell's going on here? He ain't supposed to be doing that."
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious. I got a little piece of it on camera, but it ain't enough. It ain't enough to prove
Yeah.
my case. But
When I got off the stage, they
yeah,
they 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 hunted me. They didn't hunt me down. I was coming across the wall, and they had kind of stepped over to the wall, and
yeah,
he grabbed me and he shook my hand and he said, "I want you to know, you were the best act there is tonight."
yeah,
And he could not tell me that. And listen, I'm not trying to offend nobody at all. He could not tell me that because I
yeah.
was white. Where
Right.
right?
Well,
Am I lying, Jeff?
no. What the folks may not know is this club was for lack of another
All
way to say it, it was a black club.
all black.
And
Yeah.
me and Dixie, Tricks, and Bloodhound, we were unique and special individuals.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know.
So
And
if I
actually,
can
there's another guy there too.
there was?
Yeah, I
We
can't
went
remember what the
live and Misty was in the live before we went on stage.
yeah, we were out in front of the building, uh, participating in some, activities out there, and so anyway, so Misty was on. I didn't even. That's when I found out you knew Misty too.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't know. I thought I was special, but nope. She
No.
she loves her some Bloodhound,
That's the
and
biggest that's
yeah,
Misty is the most famous fan.
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I just love Misty. I think she's awesome.
I told myself if I can go into an all black joint, which
Yeah,
I absolutely love, I love it. I
yeah,
love it. If I can go in there and and impress them and make them
yeah.
dance and change their life, fuck a hand clap. I'm on a chill bump. That
That's
if I
right.
can do that, then should be able to go. So I don't know. I'm not gonna tell that story, but it's just crazy because everybody's kind of competing. It's it's a business, but then at the same
Yeah,
time, people can listen to more than one song. They can like more than one artist. They can love more than one artist. So it's
right.
like, are we really competing? Like your fans are my fans and my fans are your fans
Yeah,
at the end of the
we're
day.
completely different artists, you and I.
Right.
I mean, there's some areas where we overlap a little bit. Culture we overlap some with instrumentation. We somewhat overlap with backgrounds. We overlap a little bit, but music styles a little in some places we do. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, and plus we're different generations, so we also have that.
Yeah.
When I started out, I started professionally in '85. '85. That's before most of these rappers were ever born.
Hey, I seen them old
You
pictures, man. Y'all was
know,
getting down, man.
yeah. It's hang on a second. I'm gonna show you. Find it. We'll do some show and tell. Yeah, this is the first record we ever put out, and it's an
Really?
actual record. 12-inch vinyl.
Yeah, a vinyl record.
Yeah, and this is Paw Fresh is on this. He went by DJ Trick at the time. Um,
He probably sounds totally different.
well, he didn't rap back then though. He didn't start rapping until '93. The first time he did it in the studio, it freaked me out. I'm like, you've been
Yeah.
dope the whole time and you just didn't do it. What's wrong with you, man? He broke out on an LSB song. We were called the Light Skin Brothers at that time, and he later formed Light Skin Entertainment. You may have seen the movie Hustle and Flow,
Yeah.
where
Haystack in that movie.
well, the nerdy white guy was patterned after DJ Trick, and whenever he said he's making the beat, old boy said, he said, not bad for a light skin. He's referencing the Light Skin Entertainment, Light Skin Brothers as our group.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty big, man. To be on
yeah.
Hustle and Flow to get that mention,
Well, I mean, he produced some of Al Capone's beats and all that kind of stuff. Trick did. Now, I didn't fool with Al Capone. I was already in Mississippi by then. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Al Capone. Those are his songs. And matter of fact, they still play "Whoop That Trick" in the Grizzlies game. Yeah, yeah. My favorite one is "Oh, It's Hard Out There for a Pimp." That's my favorite one on this. But yeah, that's some cool stuff, though. Yeah,
so I took another one, and that's why I'm able to do the live right now. But I was sitting there thinking this afternoon, I was like, whether I take a sub or kratom or something, I'm still taking something. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So I don't want to I want to hit this
Did you
thing
ever
head
talk to
on.
TNT?
Yes, I
Okay.
did.
Well, I hope
Yeah.
they went through all that, and I hope, and I don't know because I never went through that, especially, but Hopefully, I mean, they're good folks, and I'm sure that they passed on whatever they could. I guess.
Man, TNT is good people, man.
Yeah,
Good Georgia people.
yeah,
And he's basically telling me everything else that everybody else is telling me. You can read the chat. I got so much support right now. I did have somebody tell me, they said, you have so many people watching you right now that if you stop and you decide to keep taking Subutex, you will.
yeah. Well, no pressure. Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, one thing that I've done and is, I pray about it. I ask the Holy Spirit to help me with it, and because if God can't do it, ain't nobody can do it. And so you just have to trust. And I think do whatever the work is you got to do, but trust and trust God, and it'll work out. Just keep walking down the road, man. Just whatever that road is.
When I was in 2000 and 2011,
Yeah,
I had got off Roxy's and started Suboxone for the first time.
yeah,
And I had no idea about coming down. Nobody had I was totally green. Well, I got sentenced and I had to start a prison sentence. So they took
yeah.
me and they put me in the Harrison County jail.
That's a
One
bad
night,
place to come down.
one night I was sleeping and all of a sudden it felt like a bunch of people was trying to come out of my chest. And I jumped down on the bed. I thought I was having a heart attack. The only thing that gave me relief is if I just tense my chest real hard like that, and it kind of
Yeah,
gave it relief, but then it come back. There's nothing you can do. You can beat on the door all you want to. Nobody's coming. You can scream, nobody's coming.
yeah,
So I had to like literally come down. But the thing about it was I was so green, I had no idea what was happening. I had no idea that I was coming down. And that actually helped me a lot because I didn't know I was green. I didn't expect this. And it
yeah.
came out of nowhere and I had to face it. So I calmed down. I beat it for a month. For a month at midnight every night, I would wake up and have to walk back and forth in the cell, just tension my chest like this over and over again until it gave me relief to go back to sleep.
Man, yeah. I was on opiates for a minute um, with the cancer and stuff I had, and I had to get off of it twice because what
Okay.
I can't stand how it made me. It gave me. I was like living in a fog. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I felt good and shit, but um, it wasn't me. It wasn't who I am. I like to process things and all this other stuff, and it just wasn't doing it. And I went to my doctor in Alabama in Mobile, and I told him, I said, you know what? I said, you ain't gonna be my drug dealer no more. I'm done with you.
There you go.
And so what I did, I took the next prescription and cut for a week. I cut them in half, and I took half my dosage. And then the next
Cut them in
week,
half.
yeah, with a pill cutter.
Yeah.
And then the next week, I cut the halves in half. And now every time I transition, I'd get headaches and a few other little things, but it was tolerable, you know. And after that second week, I was done, and I got off of it twice like that. Now, sometimes you got to take that stuff because you got ailments and shit like that. You just got to. But um, when they get you hooked on it, I'm like, fuck this. I'd rather smoke weed and just take Tylenol or something, than be addicted to this crap where I can't even think. I can't be creative. It's like I don't know. It ain't even really me. And so I just can't be myself on that stuff. I mean, it's good to have if you got a lot of intense pain, for like you know, for a one time thing, to get you through that thing. That's why they give it for toothaches and stuff like that too. But yeah, yeah, to be
Yeah.
on it all the time is not a good thing. I mean, some people have
Yeah.
to. I understand.
A says, yep, just taper off every 2 weeks, drop the dose until it's to where you take nothing. It's too hard to do it cold turkey.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Well,
One surprise though, I did the same. I didn't do the same thing. I didn't respect gabapentin. Okay, you know what that is?
I'm on them.
Okay, well, here's the thing with gabapentin. Um, it really affects you systemically with your nervous system. And if you
Yes.
quit that
Yeah.
shit cold turkey, it will hurt you. It can hurt you.
Okay.
So I would talk to my doctor about that one because that's more actually. I didn't know this, but it's more dangerous than the opiates. It can
Okay.
be. It can be. Yeah. Yeah. And so when I quit that, I quit it cold turkey, and I was like, I didn't know. I didn't know it would do you like that.
Right.
I also
Well,
didn't realize how much. See, I had a lot of nerve damage, and so I didn't realize how much it was helping me. Because
you
like
didn't?
with opiates, you feel a sensation, just like you're high, I guess.
Yeah.
But with gabapentin, you don't really get high. You just don't have as much pain, and so it ain't.
It's an it's an
Yeah.
enhancer for whatever you take. The gabapentin will enhance it.
Well, it does that too, but its main function is to suppress nerve activity.
Yeah, right. You know, I dropped my when I was stunting street bikes.
Yeah.
I dropped my bike. We were doing a show right here at the drag strip, and I went up, did a wheelie, and I dropped my bike on my leg, and so I had to go to the emergency room, and they
Yeah.
had to put my leg in a cast. But I lost all the feeling in the inside of my leg, like it's gone, and the doctor said you'll never get that back. Well, I started taking gabapentin for like 2 months, and now I can feel everything on the side of my leg.
Yeah.
It restored my nervous system.
Yeah. It's really interesting how that works. Um, be groovy, Jimmy. Have a good one, man. Uh,
Do you
but
see
yeah, man.
chat that I don't?
Well, I got it here on the phone down at the bottom, but I also
Okay.
have it up on my laptop. I would show
So
you, but if I move my phone, it would go off.
we got Italy in the chat, we got Germany in the chat, and we got cold turkey in the chat.
Cold
uh,
turkey.
but so we've been on here almost an hour. I know you got a bunch of stuff to do, man, and so
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you coming through, Jeff. Man, I
Hey,
want
man.
you to
Thanks for
know.
having me up. It's always, man. Anything you need, brother. I'm down.
Yeah, look, me too. Same thing. I'm just right. I'm just a holler away, Jeff. I'm. If I holler right now, you could probably hear me.
If I listen real close. Good
All right, man. All right, Chad. All right, Misty. Hey, Raphael from
to
Germany.
see y'all.
Naomi. Good to see Jimmy. Did he already left? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all. Everybody have a good night.
Love y'all. Be groovy.